Welcome to another Numismatic Notes with Benjamin. I am Benjamin, and tonight I'm going to share a theme group of birds of paradise that appear on banknotes. I also want to apologize in advance. I was stricken suddenly and unexpectedly with Bell's palsy, and while I am assured I don't sound completely different, it does feel difficult at times to speak, so if I come across weird, please don't think it's any attitude I have. It's a physical thing that I'll be recovering from for the next couple of weeks. Hopefully, I'll be back to normal very soon. So tonight I'm going to share with you birds of paradise, and sometimes when you have a theme, sometimes you can be creative when you include things with them. And I'm going to share with you that a bird of paradise is from the family Paradiseidae, order Passeriform, and most birds of paradise are found in Indonesia, Papua New Guinea, and Australia. And interestingly enough, I have banknotes from two of those three places. It is the males that have the splendid plumage, and it can come from the beak, the wings, the tails, or the head. And in this first note I'm showing you from Nepal, it's the feathers from the bird of paradise that figure prominently in the shripek. And I may not be saying that right. That might be shripech. But pretty much it's the crown worn by the king of Nepal. And I remember as a child reading an old National Geographic about when the previous king was coronated. And one of the gifts that the United States gave to the kingdom of Nepal were clusters of bird of paradise feathers from the Smithsonian. I guess we have a bunch of them in storage, and we were able to share them with the king. Anyway, it's a pretty nice image of a crown. And there you go. In fact, we have the same crown, perhaps even the same feathers on the actual previous king. This is the king who was unfortunately assassinated with his family in the royal palace, and that's another video entirely, but there he is in his beautiful shripech. Now, moving from there to, I was fascinated how a bird of paradise feather made its way into the crown jewels of Nepal. And I still don't know how or why. I'm sure it has to do with trade. But here's an image of a Papua New Guinea tenkina. And there is a splendid bird of paradise right there. And you can see the bird right there, but the very stylized feathers that not only fall to the sides and go up there, but also loop here at the bottom. I always wondered if the quetzal in Central America was related to the bird of paradise. I need to do some figuring on that. Let's move on to the third note. And this note is actually from Indonesia. It's a very beautiful note. And they have a splendid bird of paradise depicted on the back of this note. Well, several of them. Isn't that plumage fantastic? I'm absolutely in love when I see that. Let's see if I can't make the note a little bit smaller so you can see the whole thing. One of my beautiful notes. Now here's the next bird of paradise, and it's a little hard to see. And strangely enough, it's on a banknote of Bermuda. And you're like, where is this bird of paradise? I like this note for several reasons. It's vertically oriented, and if you look at this note, it has a onion prefix. You know, most banknotes have a prefix. It's a number or a letter or a fraction. This one actually has an onion, a Bermuda onion, and you're like, bird of paradise, where's the bird of paradise? I don't think it's on this side. Let's turn it and see if we can find it on the other side. Take me to the other side. Ah! Sure enough, there it is, bold as day. Let's go down a little bit. Can you see our bird of paradise? I kind of tricked you here because in this case it is a bird of paradise flower. I actually have a white bird of paradise that's living on my back porch right now. Happily, you know, strangely enough, but it is outside of the direct sunlight, so it is pretty happy. But this is a lovely flower of the bird of paradise. Absolutely gorgeous. And if you want to see a better image of that bird of paradise flower, then you don't have to look any further than this lovely banknote from the French Pacific territories. Not this side, though. The splendid bird of paradise right there underneath the denomination. How about that, folks? I'm sure people could say a lot more about the bird of paradise than I've been able to do, but I've been more than happy to share these few that I could easily find on banknotes in my collection. Please feel free to cuss and discuss. Consider subscribing to my channel and list any other banknotes you can find that have bird of paradise as a theme. I am Benjamin. This is Numismatic Notes with Benjamin. Have a jewel of a day.